wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, 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 man. As you get older, the time goes by fast. Just think, man, we are in already like the last full week of March. And I'm grateful, though, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm here with you on our platforms via X, via Rumble. We're also on Facebook. Looks like I got some people even on YouTube. And it looks like the channel is growing. People are watching. So it looks like they're not messing with the shadow ban right now a little bit so far, but I know we could get more people in. Make sure you all are smashing up the likes if you are on Rumble, because that's the new platform that I'm rolling with. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And that channel to get on Rumble, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put in the link because we're trying to move a little bit further away from YouTube due to all of the shadow banning that we've been dealing with. But we are live, and I'm coming at you with 5. I'm actually going to put the link to the Rumble where I'm this is streaming right now, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I said I wasn't going away. I just was going to find a new place. I got a brand new thing, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here. I know we're getting more and more people coming in. I'm coming at y'all in prime time, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome, 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 family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get into what is the major news going on. It was too hot to drop this, but Diddy, of course, has been in trouble since yesterday. You know, I was not going to come on. I wasn't initially going to come on and do a video on this. And part of the reason isn't because I'm shying away from the controversy of the topic, because that's what we dwell on, that, hey, everybody that's on YouTube, if there's no controversy, you don't make any money. If there's no controversy, you don't have any content. That's just the way it is. But no, that is not why I am not with you. That's not the part of the reason why I didn't want to do this. It was just mainly the reason I didn't want to come on here and talk to you all is because in doing these shows, especially as broadcasts, always, unfortunately, what happens is that we have to deal with and contend. Everybody is doing a Diddy video, so it's a lot of competition. Everybody is talking about Diddy. There's about probably 120 live streams just going on right now around the country and around the globe talking about Diddy. And you got to forgive me, I was stumbling a little bit because I was trying to search for something. So as we know what happened on Monday, for those that have not been following it, unless you've been under a rock, it is, all right, One Who Cares is on. All right, thank you, buddy. Shout out to you. The reason why, and Cece, I saw you joined Rumble too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So that was the reason why I was hesitant to do the video. Now, for those of you, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that on yesterday, Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, some people are calling P. Diddy-ophile now, P. Diddy feel you. I don't want to say that because I don't know too much about it. But his homes were raided by the Homeland Security, now DSI. Now, I found that to be interesting because typically speaking, Homeland Security typically deals with obviously border security, which they're not good at right now. Cybersecurity, they deal obviously with travel, a la TSA. If you go into the airport, you're dealing with Homeland Security because TSA is under that branch. So they typically deal with that, and and usually it would be, or you would see the FBI that would be out there if they were doing some types of raids. And I had shades of, there were some certain shades of Michael Jackson, not comparing Diddy to Mike, but I'm going to explain in a bit why I said that. There's certain shades of Michael Jackson back in 2003 when his home was raided by the FBI. Now, there's a reason I bring all of that up, and I'm going to explain in a minute. But what many people may not know or can't remember is that, yeah, Diddy's sons, King and Justin, were actually reportedly seen being handcuffed outside the Los Angeles mansion. Now, they didn't just raid the Los Angeles mansion, they also raided the Miami mansion, and there are some pictures of it, but you see here. Now, y'all know good and damn well that those boys have nothing to do what purportedly with what their father has, but Homeland Security put them in cuffs and raided the home. Now, this is part of the ongoing, per the news articles that we have here from the Daily Mail. Also, what I saw on TMZ, there is an ongoing, and Los Angeles Times, the feds are conducting a investigation allegedly into some type of sex trafficking, supposedly, I guess, having something to do with Diddy. Now, of course, we know a few months ago, back in November, Diddy had a lawsuit that was initiated and filed by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, who filed a lawsuit in New York federal court against him. There's this Survivors Act that they have in New York and California that has been passed, and a lot, of course, of lawsuits have been filed, especially against certain celebrities, Diddy being one of them. Bill Cosby was another one. They also had Axl Rose, I believe, was accused of something from 1989. No kidding. So these are Diddy's kids. They raided the home in Miami. They also raided a home in Los Angeles. The homes are valued to, now that's something you're talking about, you raiding somebody's house is one thing, but they're raiding homes. They're just weird saying that. But a section of copper. So what they've stated is that investigators swarmed the two neighboring properties Diddy owns on Swiss Star Island on Monday, wrenching open an ornate metal gate to get inside. So they broke open his fence, his gate, to get inside his home. The guards, who were dressed in head to toe and in black, talking about Diddy's guards, were wearing surgical masks and refused to say where Diddy was. So and look how they say this. I don't know anything about that, while a second growled at reporters and warned them not to walk onto Diddy's property. Now, you're going on to someone else's property and who has security, and you're upset that they're growling at you. Now, I don't know what actually happened in per se about what that was, but you see how they word these things on these tabloid websites carefully, how they try to make themselves out to be a victim who's helpless versus a reporter versus a guard doing his job. Because face it, if you're a reporter getting out there or getting close to someone's property, you're technically trespassing. You have no permission to be on the grounds. Yes, outside and on the public street, that's one thing. But if you try to encroach and go into someone's actually property, that's trespassing. So I don't know that. But I move on. I digress. So the boys, according to the reports, they actually returned to the home to actually get the rest of their items before leaving, because I don't think they felt safe, and probably not, actually, if leaving. In fact, Diddy's kids actually were spotted. I believe they were getting the items out of the home from where they were and leaving. So they left the home quickly after returning on Monday night. Now, I want to give you all a legal perspective about this. Now, they say that a supposed mule, this white boy named Brendan Paul, is supposedly Diddy's mule. And I don't know what that means, but I guess they're saying a drug mule. And they actually have his snapshot here. So he is the new Farnsworth Bentley. Farnsworth Bentley II is Diddy's drug mule. Now, as to Sean Combs, supposedly, now everybody's wondering where was Diddy? Where was Diddy? Supposedly, Diddy they say, booked a flight out to the islands, I believe somewhere in the Virgin Islands, while all of this was going on. And when it happened, he had to turn back. They seized his plane and he had to go back. And the reports were Diddy was on the run. Diddy's on the run. He's fleeing. He's doing everything. Now, according to Daily Mail, what it states is that he was scheduled to fly to the Caribbean and block the public trafficking of his jet after it arrived in Miami. However, police seized his phones, but he was not arrested. The Love Air LLC Gulfstream 5 jet was later tracked to the Caribbean island of Antigua, but he was not on board. An arrest warrant obtained by Daily Mail talking about we're talking about Paul here, the alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul. They state that Paul admitted to having drugs in his luggage as law enforcement intercepted him at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport at 4:15 p.m. on Monday. They said that he had contraband inside of his personal travel bags, which he claimed prior to being searched, and he was taken into custody. All right, I'm sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. Diddy doo doo. All right, so I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. Sorry about that. It froze up. So let's go back. So his bond, as I was saying, now that's not Paul, but This guy has felony possession of cocaine and marijuana, and he's being held at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center on two bonds that's worth $2,500 each, $5,000 total. For those that don't understand, so a bond is, I don't know who his lawyer now. He has to have obviously a hell of a good lawyer to get a bond set that low. Now, again, I don't know exactly what his prior history looks like, if he has any history. Usually, if they don't, that factors into how low a bond may be set. But you're talking about felony possession of drugs and cocaine. And I don't know how much cocaine it was, but that's a Schedule 2, if I'm not mistaken, in Louisiana. That obviously would get you, that bond probably would have been a little bit higher. So is this guy cooperating with the feds yet on this? We don't know. Now, there's a lawsuit that's been filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones against Diddy. And I don't know too much about the lawsuit. Of course, Diddy has several lawsuits, but he filed a $30 million lawsuit against Diddy. And this is one of the complaints that was filed in November, where Diddy supposedly acquired drugs and guns. Now, look, being that Diddy is wealthy, I've been on Queen Amadaya Shakur's show a lot, and she is pro Get Diddy, as well as her guests that were on there. And I was just blown away by what I was hearing. Now, a lot of people just don't like P. Diddy, don't like the man, and that's fine. A guy may very well be an asshole. And yes, he may have done, let's just say, some things that were illicit, unethical, things that and he could have done something illegal. Here's the question thing, though. We don't know until we see all the evidence. Every person is presumed innocent, no matter if they're accused of petty theft or if they're accused of terrorism. They are all presumed innocent until proven guilty in this country. That is the landmark of our justice system. And that burden of proof is on the prosecutors, because it is when a state makes an accusation or allegation, we cannot just run with it. We've gotten rid of lynch mobs. We've gotten rid of frontier justice, because we as a civilized society have stated, no, we're going to go through this, because let's be real, there have been times when people have got it wrong and innocent lives were taken away. Now, this is not me defending P. Diddy, because I think Diddy's a freak. I think he's into some shit. I have not seen, though, as of now, other than lawsuits and accusations, any evidence that shows he raped anybody, or well, I should be careful, but that he did some type of illegal activity, whether it be an assault, whether it be a murder. Now, there have been accusations about him with that. I've heard those stories. I just don't know. Now, I'm waiting to see something more concrete. A lawsuit is just a lawsuit. You make accusations on it. I file lawsuits all the time. Now, I do find it interesting that Diddy did sell, and I'm going to get back to something I said earlier. Diddy did sell, and who's to say, by the way, so TMZ was stating that Diddy had fled the country, but who is to say that those pictures, if Diddy actually did flee the country? You just heard me state he was supposed to be on the flight, but he didn't fly off. So probably his flight got canceled. He never fled. There was no indication of it turning around, because Diddy is one of the most famous people in the world. It would be hard that nobody wouldn't recognize him or say he didn't go anywhere without being seen. That's just crap. These are actual photographs, by the way, supposedly from TMZ, that were captured at Diddy's home. So I don't know, supposedly, he's got a hell of a server at his house. So they ripped off the paneling. This is his bedrooms. They just rammed, if this is his house, And I'm looking on, you can see there's a picture there. Might be J-Lo on there. I don't know. But y'all can see that the house has been completely ransacked. Now, his attorney, now they say that they pointed lasers, this is getting back to the boys, at the two men before handcuffing them and dragging them outside. Now that's Diddy there. And obviously Diddy looks defeated. I can say that. So they went through and they ransacked his home. His lawyer has spoken out. And Diddy has even spoken out saying he's been railroaded. His lawyer, Aaron Dwyer, says yesterday, quote, there was a gross overuse of military-led force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs's residences. There is no excuse for the excess shows of force and hostility exhibited by authorities all the way his children and employees were treated. He added Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any, like I said, the Combs, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. Dyer goes on, this unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Dyer underscores there has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. The statement comes a day after major drama for Diddy and his inner circle, who were under a microscope Monday as federal agents stormed his LA estate and his Star Island home in Miami. So we talked about that earlier. So that he's at the center of soliciting and distributing illegal narcotics as well as firearms and allegations of ex-trafficking. Now, I'm just considering this. I'm wondering why Homeland Security is in it. And you guys, I mentioned Michael Jackson. I mentioned that earlier. Now, the reason why I did that is not because I'm comparing Diddy to Michael in the sense that in sense of celebrity status or pop culture status. We know Michael Jackson is the GOAT. Diddy is more like a mogul face. He's basically Russell Simmons 2.0. And I say that to say that as a mogul, he is actually taken hip hop to a global level, where he's been on top for a while. Even though he doesn't rap, he doesn't do mute. I mean, he's a producer, he's a promoter, he's the record label, not the artist. He's trying to be all up in the video, all on record, like Suge Knight would say. But I can't deny his influence, whether you like him or not. So the reason I mentioned Michael. Oh, what's up, Kid Gravity? Why did I mention Michael Jackson? How many of you all remember back in December of 2003? That's over 20 years ago. Michael Jackson's home was raided. How many of y'all remember that by a show of thumbs up? Michael Jackson's home was raided by not just the sheriff's department, but the FBI as well. Now you're going to see video here. Now, the feds raided Michael Jackson. They actually went in, and we saw this before, and I even have talked with Dick Gregory about this. They had files that were released on Michael Jackson. The feds raided Mike's home, along with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office. basically to see if Michael Jackson had child pornography or anything inappropriate with that investigation. Because we know Mike got charged with about 14 charges, about 10 felonies, 4 misdemeanors, although I could be mistaken. Tom Mesero knows the number, but there's more than 10 separate counts. Let's put it that way. Mike would have been in jail to this day had he been convicted. But there was a raid at Michael's home, and the sheriff's department, of course, I'm not going to play all the video because I don't fair use, but you could just see here the sheriff's department raided Michael Jackson. They actually went through everywhere in his house looking for stuff. The feds were a part of this investigation, and there was at least, I believe, a 20,000 page documents regarding Michael Jackson, and some files were released a few years ago, back in 2019, on Michael. And the FBI had these records on Michael Jackson that were released after his death under the Freedom of Information Act, where they, between 1993 and 2005, the FBI provided technical and investigative assistance for the California law enforcement agencies due to allegations of child abuse. They also investigated, now this is interesting, threats made against Michael and others by a Frank Paul Jones, who was later in prison. These investigations occurred between 1993 and 2005, and the FBI concluded that there was no evidence, fair use. They told me that there was no evidence of sexual misconduct or any illegality on Michael Jackson. They even, back in 2003, when they raided his home, they got a forensic analysis of Michael's computers. And basically what they were looking for was child pornography, and they found nothing. They actually went to the FBI. The FBI actually monitored the tabloid articles on Michael Jackson. They found nothing. There was even reportedly a British DJ who claimed when he was a teenager, about 13 years old, he had phone sex, and you can read it here, with Michael back in 1979. But it also says the FBI files, when they investigated, showed that George contacted Jackson and that George had attempted to rekindle his friendship with Jackson when he visited London, but was rebuffed by Jackson's security. So you see this part? You're accusing a man of impropriety, of molestation. Well, although this technically speaking wasn't, but of doing something inappropriate with a minor when you were young and you were wrong, yet you wanted to rekindle your friendship. And according to this, George later stated he accused Jackson 10 years afterwards, after George made the accusation so this would be in 1993. He recalled his 1979 interview with Louis Theroux, who made the documentary Louis, Martin, and Michael. And he said the allegation was made without my authority and has developed from a close friend who knew about the story. George told Theroux that the majority of the allegations were true, but that the newspapers had twisted and sensationalized them. With no proof, no recorded phone call, and no lawsuits filed, and nothing reported to law enforcement, Legal London and the FBI took no further action. They also looked for video analysis of his VHS tapes that were seized, and they were in poor quality. The tape was labeled Michael Jackson's Neverland Favorites, an all-boy anthology, and the files did not mention Jackson on the tape or had connection to it. And they said they found nothing. There were no charges filed. They also, investigated from 2003 to 2005, some period accusations, and they revealed that the police in Santa Barbara, where the Jackson stood trial, contacted the FBI because they feared he might become a terrorist target. At the trial, the FBI concluded there was little risk. They did note, however, that a Nation of Islam follower and a new Black Panther Party member attended one court appearance, and they left the parties unnamed in the file. And of course, we know that Jackson was eventually acquitted. Now, y'all see that, family, that they monitored the Nation of Islam. They monitored the new Black Panther Party. They noted it, but they left them unnamed. Now, how am I tying? So I'm tying this, and the reason why I tied this with Diddy was because part of the video that I showed you when the police raided Michael Jackson's home and how they trashed it, it is similar in a sense to what they are doing to Diddy. It's not me defending whether Diddy did it or not, or what he has done, or what he has been accused of. But I see the similarities. And I also want to point out, how many of you know this? This happened on March 25th of 2024. Diddy, of course, we saw his home is raided. But how many know about this? Yesterday marked, now this is where the numerology plays in. Do you all know that yesterday marked the 27th anniversary of life after death? I told you I was going to come back to that date. It was important. This happened on March 25th. The raid happened on March 25th, 2024, excuse me. And 27 years ago, Biggie's last album was coincidentally titled Life After Death. It was his second and final studio album, released, I believe, posthumously, because Biggie died on March 9th. His birthday is May 21st. His death was May 9th, 1997. So that number is interesting, isn't it? March 25th is when the album drops, and it was recorded, of course, out at Diddy's house recording studios in New York and the Caribbean. Now, I thought that was interesting that this happened. And is it a coincidence? Do y'all think it's a coincidence that Diddy was arrested? Let me correct it. I apologize. He's never been arrested. That his homes were raided on those 2 days. It could be a coincidence. You honestly think it's a coincidence? And life after death, I think this was Biggie's best-selling album. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but is it not the best-selling album? Is his best-selling album? I don't know how many times platinum is gone, but we know Diddy was the main producer behind this. And of course, the biggest song, one of the biggest songs on the album is Going Back to Cali. Coincidentally, of course, Diddy gets killed in Los Angeles. So I'm not saying it was 16 years, and it was released 16 years after his death. So what's the point of, Gavin? What's the point of all of this that I'm bringing out? Now, look, March 25th, the album's released 16 days after his death. If you subtract 16 from 25. He was born on May 9th. You get 9. He was born on May 9th. No, wait, I'm sorry. 16 from 25. Yeah, that's 25. 16 plus 9 is 25. So you take 16 from 25. That's 9. Yeah.
When was that? A couple of weeks before his death.
So that was his best-selling album. So I don't know. And this thing is called coincidence. People say karma has come to collect. Karma is the system. Yes, there is God, of course. This, like Cat Williams said, this is all Cat Williams' fault, by the way. Cat Williams opened up a tapeworm. Everybody, it's all liars are getting exposed. Remember, the truth comes to the light. The truth comes to the light. Steve Harvey, your man unit, because you around looking like Mr. Potato Head. Oh, baby. And it's a man unit. What's up, Rumble? Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that like button if you're on Rumble right now. So, Diddy's home gets raided. Now what happens? What's the legal ramifications of this? Well, if they had a warrant, first off, they are legally allowed. If there's a warrant present there, obviously a warrant has to be detailed. It has to describe, number one, the address of the property that's being searched, what the purpose of the search is, what particular they're looking for, and who the residence obviously it belongs to. So all of that. Now, when it comes to warrants, and even there are instances where warrants may not be allowed, or there's not so much allowed, but not needed. Obviously, if you're dealing with exigent circumstances, which is obviously there's a threat to life, there's a potential loss of the evidence that's being found, things of that nature. If they're fleeing, if there's a felon that's fleeing, a fleeing felon rule, in those situations, those get relaxed. But Fourth Amendment of the Constitution says you're entitled to, when you search someone's home, you must have a warrant, and it has to be executed by a magistrate who is fair and impartial. Now, we don't know. I don't have, obviously, the actual warrant in front of me of Diddy, but whatever they're looking for, I can tell you this much, and I'll just say this. When the feds, and this is just how I feel and what I know, when the feds are looking for you, or when the feds have evidence, are conducting some type of search, it's one of three things. They either got you, it's politically motivated, or you're a celebrity getting screwed over. We sure as hell know he's not a political figure, even though he had that vote or die. Yes, he's a celebrity, but what exactly he had against them, we don't know. What exactly Diddy has done, we don't know. So everything's going to come out. I would say give it a couple weeks, but there have lawsuits that have been filed. They have more people filing lawsuits. We're going to see what happens with Diddy. People have asked me, well, why did he sell them? Now, he also today, he sold, I do know that he did sell all of his, supposedly, according to TMZ, and I have trouble trusting them, but supposedly he sold all of his interest in Revolt TV earlier today, basically doing a move like uh, like what Russell Simmons did. Russell sold everything with not Sean John, yeah, Fat Farm and stuff like that. Russell sold all of his interests, all of his holding interests, everything he had, Def Jam, uh, everything he sold. All of his holding interests he sold when the allegations against him started. And so what they say on TMZ is that Revolt TV, which is something he started back in 2013. Remember, he stepped down when the allegations started, so he wasn't on the day-to-day board as the CEO anymore, but he still had ownership of the company, his shares. Well, he has now sold his shares of Revolt TV, which he is doing damage control. It's not uncommon that stuff like that happens where you have a celebrity, you have a multimillionaire who wants to sell their interest because they're frustrated, they're tired, they want to get something over with, and they don't want to obviously face the ramifications of losing everything. Because think about this, Revolt TV stock is, if anybody had shares in it, it's going to plummet just based off, if it didn't happen in November, certainly when the feds are involved, it's going to happen now. Now, I do know that Diddy is going through a lawsuit with Ciroc, with the vodka company. I talked with Andrew Wyatt about that a while back. And, Andrew has been defending P. Diddy with this stuff. I wanted to have Andrew come on the show this week. I know he's traveling, so I'm hoping Andrew is watching it. Andrew, we're going to have you come back on, buddy. Happy belated birthday to Queen Camille Cosby, ladies and gentlemen. Her 80th was just this past weekend. The Queen Cosby is what I call her. Queen Mother. Queen Camille, because she has a strong woman that's been through a lot, that has stood by her husband through thick and thin. That is a woman. Dr. Camille Cosby, Camille Olivia Hanks Cosby. And they keep trying to say they're getting divorced. They ain't divorcing at 80 and 88 years old. 80 and 86 years old, they're not divorcing. No. Yeah, Andrew spoke about it. So this is what I'm just was looking here. I was just trying to show Mrs. Cosby because they actually have a picture of her. That's her recent picture right there. Still looks good. But Mrs. Cosby, or I should say Andrew, released a statement. He said, reflecting on Diddy's current situation takes me back to the guidance I provided during Cosby's tumultuous period. Those moments were fraught with challenges, requiring me to navigate the complexities of the Me Too era with finesse. My experience in steering a client through the treacherous valleys of public scrutiny and emerging unscathed on the other side has honed my skills. Should Diddy seek advice, I'm here, ready to listen and eager to lend my expertise. Remember, I'm the lone wolf who not only survived the Me Too storm, but also led a client safely through to the other side. Now he goes on, he tells Parade, the new era of the clickbaiters and YouTube, of the clickbaiters and the YouTube enthusiasts have strengthened the need for the experienced crisis PR management. Unlike Mr. Cosby, there was no strategy, no formula to prevent the onslaught of narratives that were cast against Mr. Cosby, but now I have that formula. It's time that Mr. Combs control the frequency before the volume is turned up excessively and his truth, facts, and proof are drowned out. The jury pool is being aggressively tainted with the court of public opinion. Very important. Which will eventually flood into the courtroom and the deliberation room. Yeah, I'm here to stand on the foundation of truth and facts. If Mr. Combs is amenable to listen and be guided just as I guided Mr. Cosby home to freedom, not the attorneys, but the publicist and crisis manager, Wyatt concluded. I'm cheering you on, Andrew. I hope you get paid. This is a big one. Getting Nicole on. Andrew's real. Get that paper. Andrew will go. Andrew does a good job for his clients. I can say that much. What he did with Cosby, though, in getting Jennifer Beauchamp as the attorney was brilliant. Honestly, what happened, it didn't matter who was on. They would have. Bill Cosby was going to get convicted no matter what. They were after. They were just after Doc. Everything was painted. It was just uh, a witch hunt. Johnny Cochran could have been on that defense team, and they still would have found Bill Cosby guilty, in my opinion. Everything was taken. But what say y'all? Do y'all think that Dr. Cosby, I'm sorry, Diddy stands a chance? Do you think this is a railroading of a black man? Do you think he actually was doing this stuff? Look, the allegations I read in the lawsuits, they seem like they could be true. I just don't know enough of the facts. What say y'all? Y'all think it's real? Yeah, Diddy, whatever it is, Diddy's gonna pay. He's paying dearly for it. It's Diddy needs to hide up. Diddy needs to hide up like Nino Brown somewhere in the Brown house. Diddy's gonna hide it in Harlem. Did somebody tell me he adopted? And he's doing weird shit. Now I'm hearing he adopted a white girl. He's gone out playing different strokes. This nigga is nuts. When they get more money, more problems. Like he said, that's what. What you talking about, Diddy? He didn't play. He played Mr. Drummond with a white girl. What? Supposedly. He claimed he adopted a girl named Ava. I'm a Scorpio. Her name is Ava Combs Maroney. So that girl gonna testify against him. So that was in 2020. So this is, I don't know if this is the same girl who that is in that picture. I'm assuming it is, but damn, she blew up. I don't know what people with money just go nuts. So is that the girl there, right here? Combs says he got permission from Baroni's mom to adopt. What the fudge? I adopted you because I felt you could enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. He continued, and he got permission from the young girl's mother. Baroni jokingly explained how she was on the streets before Papa Combs decided he was going to be a caring man. He go, what? She said, so then he saw me. So she has parents already, and he says, I want you to tell him the story of how I adopted you, but you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. Baroni then jokingly explained how she was on the streets. She said he set his ass up. He set his own self up with this crap, man. He said he compared himself to Sandra Bullock, Madonna, and Charlize Theron, and how they adopted their children when they go to Africa and adopt these kids. But what about your other kids? You got 5 of them. What about this one? I want you to experience having a beautiful black parents. What? I adopted you because I felt you could enjoy having a black parent to take care of. We got kids that aren't adopted that have a heart that don't have parents. What? He said himself, guys. All I'm gonna say is this: I don't know how true it is, but he's setting himself up, even though he may not even know it. He walked into a trap. Diddy's gonna get Diddy bopped in court. Now I'm looking on my platform. It looks like on X. So we got a total of over 57 people watching on X. I got an additional. Now this is weird. I got 13 on the YouTube channel, 6 on the backup, none on Facebook, according to this. Now they don't show it on Rumble. But I got 10 followers. And here's a good thing about being on Rumble. I love it because I got 7 people watching on Rumble. Holla at me. They actually, I've seen my channel already. I've gotten new followers. So that helps when you're not shadow banned. When you get more people liking your content. When you get more people subscribing. When you get more people that share your videos. It's good when you don't have any animosity from a platform to deal with. Make sure you all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And look, as you know, I'm trying to get monetized on Rumble. It's going to take a little while, but make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And make sure, if you could, donate to the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. Links at the bottom. If you love me for my time, pay me for my time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to roll up on out of here. But this was great content to second live stream on Rumble. I'm happy that I'm doing work here with them. You all be safe and be blessed. Thank you, DeAndre. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you, Terry. And I'm going to put the link to the Rumble account, actually to the link on Rumble to this video, because I know we still have people on YouTube who don't know where to find me. Here's the link in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming straight from me. Shout out to DeAndre Mosley. Also, I got to point out, we got a comedy show April 6th on Eventbrite. Ladies and gentlemen, you get your tickets. We are doing the April Fool's comedy show at the Verdict featuring Kyron Hargrove, Dory Dimples, Wayne Ransom, B-Dub Get Paid, and your headliner, Mr. Nonsense himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Nonsense is actually doing a show tonight with my man B. Haynes. He has a new open mic night. I may go check that out over, if you're in the New Orleans area, out in Gretna. It's at 2010 at the Valencia Bar. Y'all check that out. And here's a link also to the comedy show this Saturday. Not this Saturday. Let me correct myself. April 6th. April 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the link in the StreamYard comment section. April 6th is the comedy show. You can go there, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets. If you're in the New Orleans area, you're going to be there. It's only $15 now. You'd rather pay now than pay at the door, because then it'll be a little bit more. But Wayne Ransom, B Dub, Kyron Hargrove, Dory Dimples, and Nonsense. That's gonna be a fire show, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all be sure to go to Eventbrite, send some love, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm getting out of here, y'all. Y'all be safe, be one, be blessed, and don't be Diddy. Diddy dumb, Diddy do. Peace out, y'all. DeAndre, Derek Mose Bailey, how you doing? All right.